And joining me now, two Democratic lawmakers from Connecticut, Senator Chris Murphy and Congressman Jim Himes, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. And, of course, you on all of the foreign relations and everything. Chris Murphy, let's talk about last night.
Yeah.
And what it meant to have Barack and Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama, in a way we have not seen her, saying what she really thinks, saying that you guys only have 76 days, and this is going to get ugly and uglier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, it was just a fun night, right? I mean, I guess the contrast that the whole country is seeing is the Democratic Party, which recognizes the challenges this country faces, knows people are going through hard times, but, you know, approaches that challenge with joy, right? And the Republican Party, which is just so negative and dour, seems obsessed with division, right, rather than trying to unify the nation. I thought the Obama speeches last night were fun. I thought they lifted up the audience, and I can't wait for Tim Walz today. Tim Walz has done an absolutely fantastic job of helping to grow out the middle class, make communities safer, build better public education, and he's going to tell a fantastic story tonight. But the positivity, the energy of last night, you can see why we are not having problems filling multiple venues, multiple big stadiums all at once, because there's just a whole bunch of people that wanted nothing to do with politics, who now, because of the enthusiasm behind Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, are flocking to be part of this movement.
And Congressman, you've got to put meat on the bone. You've got to turn enthusiasm into something other than a sugar high, to mix all of my metaphors. You've got to get volunteers. I'm told, credibly, that volunteers in a number of key states are really turning up. Money is pouring in. But it's tough, and they have money. Republicans have resources. They probably don't have as much infrastructure on the ground. But what are you seeing as the challenges now?
Yeah, so, I mean, the answer to that question is super clear. And, you know, this is a celebration. This is a remarkable, historic celebration for a whole bunch of reasons. But what is super clear is that all of this optimism, all of this happiness, all of this joy needs to be turned into fuel for a lot of unglamorous hard work. James Carville came and addressed us yesterday, us being the Connecticut delegation, and he said, you know what? Congratulations, guys. You won August. You know what that matters? 0. And he said, so shut up and work. So what has to happen starting this weekend is that all of this joy and optimism needs to be turned into the unglamorous work of making phone calls, knocking on doors, and making sure that this joy that Chris was talking about turns into motivation for people to show up at the polls and save this country.
And there's criticism from Republicans, but also other critics, analysts saying, Kamala Harris has to show more than just the biography. She's got to show policies. She's got to do interviews. And you've worked with her in the Senate. How prepared is she on foreign policy at a time when we've got two wars, not the ceasefire they had hoped for this week, Secretary Blinken coming back, empty-handed for all of his work on the 9th shuttle to the Middle East?
Well, she's ready on day one because she has been part and parcel of Joe Biden's campaign to restore America's credibility all around the world. I was with her on a few of her international trips, 2 times that she went to Munich to speak before the security conference. She was powerful. She conveyed a clear message of support for Ukraine. We've now learned that she was instrumental in getting the deal done to bring our prisoners home. It was some of her direct intervention that made that possible. And even on the issue that Republicans think that she's vulnerable on, the border, and her work in Central America, she was given a very discreet task to drive down migration from 3 key countries in Central America. And within 2 years of being given that task and having made multiple trips and doing multiple diplomatic missions to the Northern Triangle countries, migration from those 3 nations went down by 60%. So that is a pretty incredible record, a record that she's going to be able to talk about and run on national security.
Well, first on Gaza, Congressman Himes, a lot of pressure from uncommitted delegates here to agree to an arms embargo. There are protesters outside. They're doing it politely inside the hall, the Minnesotans. But does she need to differentiate herself from the Biden policy and show more than empathy for the people in Gaza?
You know, when you say differentiate herself from the Biden policy, I think, has been the policy that most Americans support, which is that we're going to stand by our ally Israel, especially after the horrors of October 7th. But we are going to push at every opportunity, and Chris and I have certainly participated in this with ambassadors, with Israeli generals, to say that this war must be conducted better, differently, with more to a sort of in tune to keeping civilians safe and allowing the humanitarian situation to improve. So I wouldn't expect a radical change in that policy. I would point out, and Americans should think about this, you're right. We had Gaza protesters here. We had people inside the party saying there are two sides to this very complicated thing, and both sides deserve a hearing. What about on the other side? There weren't Gaza protesters there because they know that there is no voice inside the Republican Party for both sides of this very complicated situation.
And briefly on Ukraine hitting Moscow with drones. They say you've taken the handcuffs partly off. We can go across the border and go after the sites that they're hitting us with, but we need ATACMS. We need more freedom to go deeper into Russia. Ukrainian soldiers are telling our reporters that they are still badly overmatched.
Yeah, and I would say a couple things about my own opinion, which is perhaps somewhat at odds with the president's, is that we've been a little too late, a little bit too little in our support for the Ukraine. It's easy for me to say I'm not the one who bears the consequences of the Russians upping this game. But two things about the Ukrainians. One, we got to remember that this is our fight. This is very much our fight. That, yes, we're sending some dollars to, but we haven't sent any people to. And number two, as people say, oh, negotiations need to start, what's the end game? Remember, the Ukrainians always surprise us. Nobody, not our Secretary of State, not Chris, not I, 4 weeks ago would have told you that the Ukrainians were going to undertake a successful invasion of Kursk, and they did. So we need to let the Ukrainians do what they have doing and support them in that effort.
Senator, you're nodding your assent.
Well, listen, I agree with Jim, but there's also a primary obligation that the commander-in-chief has, which is to protect the United States. So part of the reason why we are sometimes slow to deliver weapons to Ukraine is because we have to make sure we can backfill our own stocks. So we can. I'm all for giving Ukraine what it needs, but not if it jeopardizes our ability to defend the United States of America. So sometimes the Ukrainians get frustrated. They don't get things as fast. That is usually because the president has an obligation to make sure that he is not conducting foreign policy in a way that jeopardizes us should something catastrophic happen on our own shores.